Yashodanandana Brajadana Randana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnu Pad Paramangsa Parivata Kataya Stutarasata Sri Srimad Abhaytarana Ravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Seku Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Yama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvi Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Ki Jai Yamuna Maya Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, maybe you can take away the echo without echo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we are reading. Who understands no German language? Okay. Wer versteht? Ja. Okay, we speak in English, yes. Okay. We're reading from Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I still feel like there's some echo. No? Or maybe it's just so loud. Maybe you can turn down a little bit. So we are continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 12, Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. And we're reading text 19, yes? 20. Oh no. Okay. No problem. Okay, then we read text 20. Are you sure? Yes, true, I was not there yesterday, therefore I didn't know. Yes, okay. Okay, let's see. Tatrano deva pravaro chatur buddho Tatra Nudeva Pravaro Chaturbhujo Syamo Kishorav Arunam Bhujekshano Syamo Kishorav Arunam Bhujekshano Stita Vavastabhya Gadang Suvasaso Stita Vavastabhya Gadang Suvasaso Kirataharan Gadacharu Kundalo Kiritaharan Gadacharu Kundalo Tatra Nudeva Pravaro Chaturbhujo Syamo Kishorav Arunam Bhujekshano Stitav Avastabhya Gadang Suvasaso Kiritaharan Gadacharu Kundalo. Devotees? Tatranu, no, tatra, there. Anu, then. Deva Pravaro, two very beautiful demigods. Chatubhujo, with 4 arms. Shyamo, blackish. Kishoro, quite young. Aruna, reddish. Ambuja, lotus flower. Ikshano, with eyes. Stito, situated. Avastabhya, holding. Kadam, clubs. Suvasaso, with nice garments. Kirita, helmets. Hara, necklaces. Angada, bracelets. Charu, beautiful. Kundalo, with earrings. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj saw two very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plain. They had 4 hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets, and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. Purport. The inhabitants of Vishnu-loka are of the same bodily feature as Lord Vishnu, and they also hold club, conch shell, lotus, flower, and disc. In this verse it is distinctly stated that they had 4 hands and were nicely dressed. The description of their bodily decorations corresponds exactly to that of Vishnu. So the 2 uncommon personalities who descended from the airplanes came directly from Vishnu-loka, or the planet where Lord Vishnu lives. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gananjala Shalakaya Chaksurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pastatade Satarine Shri Chaitanyan Manobhistang Stapitang Yena Bhutale Swayang Rupa Kadahmayang Dadati Swapadantikam Vandehang Sri Guru Sri Uttapada Kamalang Sri Gurun Vaisnavangsa Sri Rupang Sagra Jatang Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitang Savadutang Paridana Sahitang Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vichangscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvishe Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tatranu Deva Pravarota Tubujos Yamo Kisorav Arnam Bujekshano Stitava Vastabhya Gadang Suvasaso Kirita Haran Gada Charu Kundalo. Dhruva Maharaj saw 2 very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plain. They had 4 hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments, with helmets, and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone who has come to attend today's class. I beg everyone's blessings, that some inspiration, some transcendental knowledge, some spiritual joyfulness will transmit. I especially beg the blessings of my official seniors, and especially Shemandini Mataji. I am very sorry that I did not come yesterday. I felt like I have some study homework, but I should have still come. So I feel yes, I feel a little embarrassed. Yes, so yeah, it's like, I think I say it almost every time, not every time, but almost every time, that it's so nice to hear about Krishna. It's so important also. It's the effect of hearing is so subtle, but it's so powerful. It's so substantial. It is the beginning of everything, actually. The devotional life begins with hearing. So that is how important it is. It is like sometimes we speak about the domino effect, and it means that there's a very small movement, and it just creates one other small movement. But there's the next small movement, and then it continues, and at the end you have a huge explosion or huge whatever it is, but you have something huge. It started very small. Like a forest fire also. A forest fire starts very small. I have no personal experience or research, but sometimes in Bhagavatam we read that also, that there are some bamboos, and the branches, they rub each other, and then because of the friction of small flame emanates, and that small flame will burn down a whole forest sometimes. So, and in the same way, that small drop of Krishna Katha, that will kindle a fire, and that fire will burn up our material existence. and it will burn up also our sanity, and we will like jump around in madness. And yes, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also exhibited that personally, and he also preached that. And same message of Srimad Bhagavatam also. He said that the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavatam is, I looked at that verse, Evang Vrata, Sva Priya Nama Kirtya. If you have a vow to chant the name of the Lord which is dear to you, that those names, if that can, first we take a vow, we chant Hare Krishna every day, and then we will, at one point it will become very dear to us. We will recognize the sweetness of the chanting of Hare Krishna, that sound vibration. And like Srila Rupa Goswami said, if I chant the holy name, I want millions of tongues. And if I hear the holy name, I want millions of ears. I want millions of tongues to chant the holy name, and I want millions of ears to hear the holy name. So then it becomes very pleasing. Svapriya Nama Kirtya Jatanu Rago Druta Chitta Utchai. And then we develop great attachment to this chanting. We cannot stop anymore. That day will come. Simply because we have heard once. And we may still fall asleep while chanting our japa, but we can rest assured that the medicine is still acting, and one day it will take over the disease. So, and then Hasatyato roditi roti something unmada nrityati Lokabayaha, something like this. And that means that, and then when that chanting fully overcomes our consciousness, then we will laugh very loudly, and we will cry, and we will become agitated, and we will dance like a mad person, and we will not care if anyone thinks anything about it. We will not care about anything anymore. So this is the goal. And it all starts with this humble attempt to sit down and hear and speak a little from Srimad Bhagavatam. And here, in yesterday's verse and the verses before, there was a description of the ecstatic symptoms of Dhruva Maharaj. So he had arrived at the conclusion of devotional service. He was overwhelmed by love of God. And somehow, in the previous verse it said, as soon as the symptoms were manifest, he saw a very beautiful airplane coming down from the sky. And I'll borrow for a moment from that purport also, that Srila Prabhupada is explaining, what is that? Yes. So Dhruva Maharaj, being liberated from the material concept of life, was situated in transcendental knowledge and could perceive the presence of a transcendental airplane. I find it interesting how Srila Prabhupada is putting the whole thing. He says he was able to perceive by freedom from material contamination and by transcendental knowledge, he was able to perceive. And there's a little connotation of he could perceive something that was already there. Krishna is already there in our heart. He's promising that in Bhagavad Gita in so many verses, in so many different words. He's explaining, I am in the heart, I'm in your heart, I am situated in your heart, I'm situated in every atom, I'm situated in everywhere. So Krishna is already there. Simply we have to perceive it. And then again, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing the transcendental sound is the beginning. I took one very strong note in my memory when His Holiness Bhaktivigyan Maharaj was here, and he gave a few lectures, and I heard some of them also, and I remember almost nothing, but I remember one very strong statement which struck me, is that he explained that if you, how did he tell it? He spoke about poetry, and he explained that poetry, it carries the bhava, the mood, the emotion of the person who is pronouncing that poetry or who is writing. And Maharaj explained that if you read Srimad Bhagavatam and if you can, yes, he spoke about the importance actually of reciting Sanskrit, because this is the original sound vibration. If you recite Srimad Bhagavatam, you get the bhava of, you can tell a few names. Shukadeva Goswami, yes. Shukadeva Goswami, who never had anything to do with the material world from the beginning to end of his material existence. He is his material existence is not there. He comes to the material world, but he is a completely spiritual personality, and he is reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. He is reciting Krishna's rasa dance with the gopis, and he will not dare to mention the name of the main gopi, because if he does so, he will faint in ecstasy. So that bhava you get if you recite Srimad Bhagavatam. Who else is there in Srimad Bhagavatam? Any one of you ever read Srimad Bhagavatam? Maharaj Parikshit, yes. He saw he saw God even before he took birth. Shukadev Goswami, Dhruva Maharaj. We say, 5 years. Yes, it is very special. But Maharaj Parikshit, he saw Vishnu even before his birth. So you get that bhava. And his whole life he was only wondering, where is Krishna? So you get that kind of bhava if you read Srimad Bhagavatam. You know anyone else from Srimad Bhagavatam? Prithu Maharaj. Yes. I don't remember so much. But you tell something. Yes, I don't remember so much anymore. It's long back.
I just remembered because Vedasara always.
Okay. So Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, I remember that he performed. I remember very few details. You remember something? Anyone? Yes, please. Krishna. That is boldness. That is transcendental boldness. Yes. So Prithu Maharaj, actually, yes. So certainly he's very exalted. And Prithu Maharaj was such a powerful king. I remember that detail, that he took over the kingdom from his father Vena, who was administrative mischief. And so Mother Earth, she decided to take back all the resources. There was lack of resource in the world because Mother Earth, she will not supply resources to impious people. So Prithu Maharaj, he took over the reign, and he was an amazingly religious king, certainly. And then Mother Earth, she didn't get the point yet. She didn't have that. She was a little reserved. She didn't have that faith that, okay, now it's good. And so Prithu Maharaj, it says he personally threatened her that, my dear lady, now you please give. So he was such a powerful personality. Yes, that bhava of powerfulness actually is also very glorious, because it shows that one is empowered. So you will also get some powerful courage, some overcoming fearfulness, such things, if you recite Bhagavatam, because you associate with such personalities, you get their bhava. Yes, Prabhu.
I remember something regarding Maharaj Prithu. When he met Maharaj,
yes.
when you invite somebody in your home or anything, you ask, okay, what can I do for you? Like, do you want some cup of water or anything? But instead, he directly, because he knows that they are completely transcendental.
Yes.
But he told them directly, please tell me, how can I get rid of my disease or material attraction?
Jai.
That was the eagerness also shows. And how he has already a very high vision.
Yes. Jai. Yes. 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 A person who is actually advanced, he feels that everyone is his superior. So whenever there's opportunity for any mercy, he will go for it. So yes, that eagerness for devotional service. Okay. Okay, one more. Yes, the prayers of the gopis are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And like in India, especially here in the West, I didn't see that so much, but in India, in Vrindavan area especially, I noticed that during Kartik, many devotees in the temple, they congregationally chant the Gopi Gita. So prayers of the gopis, songs of the gopis. So yes, you get the bhava of the gopis. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established Srimad Bhagavatam as Puranam Amalam. No, Pramanam Amalam. The spotless evidence, the spotless source of knowledge is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much a follower of the gopis of Vrindavan. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is even considered the ultimate personification of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, yeah. In one sense, we can say that His Holiness Krishna Kshetra Maharaj, when he was here, he made that point that when an author writes a book, he is having in his mind the perfect reader of the book, the perfect person to receive that message, that poetry, that content. And as far as I remember, he made the point also like that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the ultimate hearer of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is to be taken full advantage of by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the ultimate person to receive that Srimad Bhagavatam and to live by it, in full, without any hindrance, with no obstruction. So, so yes, this is how wonderful is Srimad Bhagavatam. And here again we are hearing about Dhruva Maharaj attains the ultimate result, which is that Srila Prabhupada, as I said, he is emphasizing that he could perceive what is already there. And so he saw that that plane is there, and here two associates of the Lord are described, and ultimately that is the experience which we are to have as soon as we become situated on the path of devotional service. It starts with a person who is walking in the shopping street and he's hearing, what is this? And then he's seeing those people and hearing those people, Hare Krishna, they're singing the holy name and he's hearing the holy name and he's just wondering like once, what is this? And then he forgets everything and goes. But the soul is like marked, there's a on the soul and he cannot get rid of it. And then gradually, one day, in this life or in the next life or 2 lives or whatever, future but not too far, he will come in contact again and he will start actually appreciating and thinking, oh, this is nice. And then that red day in the calendar of his material existence will come when he says, yes, I will do this. I will do this chanting, I will do this hearing, I will come to this movement of glorification of Krishna. And then a person more or less consciously will take up the process of devotional service until he will actually start perceiving. Have you ever had this? You were doing your service, you were doing your chanting or reading or anything, and you start off in a mechanical way. You start off because it's your duty or because whatever, you just start doing that thing, and then suddenly you have that one moment and you're realizing that, whoa, Krishna is there. You had that ever? Or this is Krishna's pot I'm cleaning right now. Or this is his name, it's non-different from him. Or you just you just open the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna is telling, I was always there. You ever had that moment? And suddenly you feel like, whoa. It's like someone told you a big secret. Suddenly you know whoa, this is very special. Okay, I will pretend I didn't. I will pretend I didn't learn anything. I'll just continue. But internally you feel that you have found a great treasure in that moment. So Krishna consciousness means to become Krishna conscious and to have such moments more and more. And and basically externally nothing changed. You're cleaning the same pot, you're reading the same verse, you are chanting the same mantra, but the consciousness has evolved. So we perceive what is already there. And if we start the process of Krishna consciousness, there's no question of not reaching the goal. It may take a short time or a long time, but if you, no matter which kind of train you are in, if you're in ICE, you go very fast. If you travel with Deutschland ticket on the regional train, you may take very long. But if you know where you want to go and you enter the right train, there is no question of reaching. You will reach the destination sooner or later. And so you're chanting Hare Krishna, you are associating with devotees, you're taking prasadam, you're aspiring to follow, or you actually have come to follow the 4 regulative principles, all these things are there, then there's no question you will reach the goal. You will also attain full Krishna consciousness. But it is better to take the ICE, no? If you can afford it, it is better to take the ICE. It is better if you don't become frustrated, because the regional trains also many times they're like, you think that okay, this one I have to get down and then I will wait for the next one. But the train is late and then you cannot take the next one and you'll take a long, long time. And then, I don't know, up to the point where they tell you that you're in the wrong place here and the train, you thought it's going, but it's not going. You have to go back. And then you have to take a different train there, and then so you will take much longer. It will be more complicated. So if you can take an ICE from, let's say, from here to Nuremberg, it's much easier than the regional train. You just sit in and you get out, done. And in between you have a nice, comfortable environment. So in the Hare Krishna movement, taking the ICE, that is my personal realization. You may correct me also. but my personal realization is be as close as possible to Srila Prabhupada. Because he has built the movement. He has established, he has manifested this movement. And by being close to him, we will be situated in the core of the movement. It's a movement, it moves. So if you're really holding on to that which is moving, you will also move very swiftly and naturally. So yes, so Srila Prabhupada, we should have a relationship with Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita, one very, very, very essential verse is spoken in chapter 4, text 34. Anyone who knows that verse? Tadvidhi pranipatena prashnena sevaya upadikshyanti te gyanang gyaninas tatvadarshinaha. Tatvadarshinaha. Upadikshyanti te gyanang. The self-realized souls, they can show you the spiritual knowledge. Actually, it is by their blessing that we perceive. It is by the blessings of the Tattvadarshis, of those who are already seers of the truth, that we will see the truth. By the blessing of Narada Muni, Dhruva Maharaj could see the truth, could see God, and could develop devotional service. So it is by the blessings of the devotees, the pure, exalted devotees, saintly devotees, that we will also become saintly, become God conscious and become saintly. So and that verse in Bhagavad Gita is explaining how to approach, how to take advantage of that kind of association. And it says, Tatvidi pranipatena. The first thing is that you humbly approach with, I don't know anything about Sanskrit, but sometimes it's said like that you go there and you bow down. You offer your respects, your obeisances, you fall flat before that person. So you very humbly come there. And actually, that is good news. We are doing that. If you come here to the temple in the morning, what is the first thing we do? We offer obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Is it not? So we are doing that. The only thing we should be conscious of, if we are not perfect yet in that disposition, is that we should see that we are humble, that we are submissive, that our inner state of mind and consciousness is properly aligned, so that we can actually offer obeisances sincerely, with a feeling that, like Prithu Maharaj, like Prabhu was explaining, like Prithu Maharaj approached the Kumaras, there was no reservation, there was no need for external etiquette, because he understood the essence of that value of that association, which is that I am an insignificant fool, I am rotting in this material existence, and you can help me. Please help me. Minimum that. That is the start. That is the start. And the pure devotees who are liberated from material existence, they will also be very humble before their seniors who engage them in devotional service. So that is the first thing. We should very humbly approach. And that can be practiced every day. Every day we're coming here, we're offering obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. And one thing we are not doing automatically, but it is very supportive, very helpful. And also some senior devotees, they would say, this is also very essential, that you read about Srila Prabhupada. There's some of us are reading at the moment this small biography about Srila Prabhupada, and it is so nourishing, it is so informative also. You learn so many things, you develop so much appreciation and identification also with this movement, because you read about how it came into being, at least the modern movement we have now. And that is reading about Srila Prabhupada. And by now, there are I don't know how many, but it seems like unlimited books about Srila Prabhupada. They're unlimited. There are so many wonderful books about Srila Prabhupada. And it's not about becoming a professor about the life of Srila Prabhupada, that you, okay, now I will read all those books. No, you just read some of them. You just read something, and you read one small paragraph per day, for example, or regularly, whatever is your practical situation, but try to touch upon such material about Srila Prabhupada. And you can read the book. Also, we have videos about Srila Prabhupada. You can see how he moved. You can see how and the lectures are there. You can hear how he speaks. So there is so much material which can be used to develop an understanding of who is Srila Prabhupada and what did he do. That is very essential if you want to feel that you belong into this movement. Like that. So, develop a relationship with Srila Prabhupada and feel that sense of, yes, this is my senior, this is my authority, this is my most well-wishing friend. Prabhupada would always sign his letters, your ever well-wisher. Sometimes I feel like that because I joined as a fanatic brahmachari, and I always felt that Srila Prabhupada, he was a very heavy person, like he would always chastise people. And he did actually. We spoke about that yesterday evening a little bit. But he did not do that always. He did that to people who could take it and feel that, yes, this is loving correction. But Srila Prabhupada, he would... Akila Prabhu told that a few times recently. I find that very sweet. Srila Prabhupada, he was talking with two people, and he was talking with one person in the moment, and the other, both disciples, and the other disciple was just watching. And then Srila Prabhupada, he was talking to one person. He thought the other person is not seeing him. I don't remember the details, but somehow Srila Prabhupada, he thought that this person is not looking at me. And so Srila Prabhupada, he looked at the person with great love and affection. And it was visible in his expression. And then the person turned to him, and Srila Prabhupada, he noted that, oh, he's seeing me. And immediately became grave. Immediately, like he didn't show. So on the surface, it seems that Srila Prabhupada, he was many times very grave. He's described like that by many people. He was very grave, very sober appearance, not easily showing that I'm flattering you or like I'm emotionally agitated. Srila Prabhupada was not showing that. But at the same time, sometimes he would laugh loudly, sometimes he would make jokes, and people were so overwhelmed because they thought he's just very serious. So how did we get there? Oh no. Reading about Srila Prabhupada. Yes, so if you think that Srila Prabhupada was only heavy, he was only a big teacher and like a commander in a big movement. No, he was not only like that. So and others of us may have this kind of approach that Srila Prabhupada was very kind and soft. But if we read, then he was also strict. So whatever understanding we have of Srila Prabhupada by hearing bits here and there, that become our vision on who he was and how his whole personality and activities, it becomes enhanced the more we read and hear about him and in relation to him. And essentially his books are there, written by himself. Srila Prabhupada said that my purports are my devotional ecstasies. It is not a dry philosophy, it is ecstatic. But are we experiencing that also? Jai! So you should learn her secret, how she is perceiving that. It is already there, yes, the same thing again, but we have to find access. So we should get to know who is Srila Prabhupada, we should have a feeling of a relationship. And then Pariprashna. Yes, His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Maharaj explained this word, pari. So I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but he is. He explained the word for us. He said, Pariprashna means a question. And Pariprashna means like you ask every question possible. Like you go all around. You understand the topic thoroughly. That should be our mood in spiritual life. We should understand Krishna consciousness very thoroughly, completely. Like every new bhakta who comes and is enthusiastic, he will have 1 million questions, and he will ask so many questions to everyone. And many times it happened to me that young bhakta is coming to me and asking, what about this? And I say, I never thought about that. Or like, I may have thought about that, but it knocked on my mind, but it's like, I don't know. I will not think about it now. So that great enthusiasm to learn, that is the second thing in spiritual life, in spiritual realization. We should have that. We should maintain that spirit of inquiry. And we should also understand that we have to be patient. Like, that is the first thing. You come to the temple, you learn, wow, Krishna consciousness, and you have 1 million questions. But you will realize that if I think that I have to answer all of them today, you will be frustrated because one day is too short. So then we should also develop patience and faith that if we stick to the process over time, everything will be revealed. It is like that. So we can be peaceful. We don't have to learn everything in one day, but we have to make sure that we stay in the process, and then we will be sure that everything will come out over time. And the third thing, sevaya, you have to do service. And here especially we are doing service anyway, and it is so easy to think that, yes, I'm doing this for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. Is it not? At the end of the day, you should feel that, yes, I have that. I mean, you should, is maybe said too much, you have your own spiritual master or your local devotee who is inspiring you, or you have that realization that I want to serve and please Krishna. But also Srila Prabhupada, you can just easily say that, yes, I have a relationship already, I read his books and I feel that my inquisitiveness is becoming satisfied, and I'm serving him also. I'm offering my service to him, the service I'm doing in the garden, my management, my pot washing, my cleaning the floors, keeping the temple clean. Srila Prabhupada was very much encouraging cleanliness. And he was saying we should be revolutionary clean. Revolutionary clean. In the Gurukul in Mayapur, they have, it's warm, so they don't have walls, they just have like concrete, I think it's concrete like floors and like bamboo roofs or something like that. And every day, 3 times, the whole floors are flooded. They're not coming with some mop. No, they flood everything. Revolutionary cleanliness. We may not do that here because of the infrastructure, but that principle is there. Why can we not clean every room 3 times daily? Why not? Why not? Let's do it. If our service is cleaning, we should be enthusiastic to clean everything 10 times. Why not? And in the end of the day, we are tired and exhausted, but very happy. And we come to Srila Prabhupada here, before Sandhya Arti, for example, and we fall down before him, and we tell him that, Srila Prabhupada, I did this today. So we should feel like that. And one thing that is also there is that Srila Prabhupada, he was I was rereading that now in that biography of Prabhupada, and it's very much highlighted and stressed that Srila Prabhupada was so fond that his books are being distributed. He was so fond of it. And in the beginning, he just pushed that, okay, we have to publish these books. And then they had the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. As far as I understand, that was the first book they had in big quantity. And then it was just many boxes with books, and they were there in New York and in San Francisco, in the 2 centers which were there in the beginning. And his disciples, they didn't know. We have our storage is full with those boxes of books, and we don't know what to do with it. And then the next book became published, Krishna book. And then they had that also, like all over. They had those boxes with books, and what to do now? They didn't know. And then slowly they got understanding, oh, we can sell them. We can just approach people and tell that, dear sir, we have this book, you look like a nice person, please take it and read it, and we ask for some money because of the printing cost. So, and gradually they came to that understanding, and they started doing that. And there are many excerpts of interview in that biography, and devotees are explaining how we were talking all night. We could not sleep. We were so excited. We were talking about, oh, I said this and he took the book, or I went to this place and I did like this and like that, and I met this person today. And they were very excited about that. And like it's a red thread in all those things that they said, we cannot explain why. It is not explicable. It is inconceivable. But when we do this simple activity, you just give that paper and ink in the form of a book to a person, and you take little money from him, you become so ecstatic. You become overwhelmed by joyfulness. You become so happy. You feel like, just like Lord Chaitanya, like I quoted this verse from Bhagavatam. You become mad with happiness. And that's very much emphasized in that biography, and it's my personal experience also. You cannot explain why, and it doesn't have to be explained, because it can be explained. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling, if you tell someone about me, you are most dear to me. You're the most dear person if you help others to remember me. I'm in the spiritual world, I'm self-sufficient, I'm Atma Rama, but still I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for all of you. Krishna is waiting for all conditioned souls, very eagerly, because his heart is so big that he's with great eagerness, he's waiting for all living entities to remember him and to come back to his shelter. So in that way you can explain. But practically, from our perspective, maybe we cannot explain. But we become so joyful if we help to expand Krishna consciousness in this world. And that is the whole movement. It's the whole movement. The movement of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada is not a movement of being a Sanskrit scholar or otherwise learn it in any way, or of big austerities or whatnot, earning a lot of money and doing a big sacrifice. No, it's spreading Krishna consciousness. It is so simple. It's deppensicher in German, we would say it. It's so simple. This movement is so simple. And this is the core of this movement, is the movement, that it has to move. It has to go all over the world. So Srila Prabhupada, he was very fond of that book distribution. If you want to feel close to Srila Prabhupada, distribute his books. I feel like nowadays there is a strong resentment towards that service. That realization came out from me recently. I didn't know I have it, but it feels like that to me, that there's a few people who they're like have a competitive nature, and they have a sense of honor, and I want to be honored. If in this movement I want to be honored, yes, I have to distribute books. I have to be like superhero brahmachari or brahmacharini. I don't see so much these days, but like I have to be a book distributor. And then I will be a hero. Everyone will applaud, and I will get something or whatever. And so I feel like some are like that, or they just feel that it's a good thing, it's right, but they're not so mature. And then others, they will just be off. They will feel that, actually they're afraid of doing it themselves. But to cover their own lack of honesty, they will point fingers at those. You see, if I will become like this. But I feel like there is a need for restoring or even creating the pure reputation of that service. It is so glorious, it is so pure. That activity is so pure, to give transcendental knowledge. It's out of this world. It is such a pure activity, such a beautiful expression of service. So and anyone who takes to it, he cannot but rise to that stage of purity if he wants to actually appreciate what he is doing himself. And that is a big austerity sometimes, like to come to that stage of realization that no matter what happens, I just love that person, I want to give him something good, and I will give him this transcendental knowledge, even if he doesn't appreciate me. So there's a lot of austerity in that service, but if you can take that austerity, you will get the topmost realization very quickly. So and there are two other ways which are also very simple and glorious to spread this Krishna consciousness in this world. One is you just go out and you sing the holy names in the street, and everyone can hear. And you will also feel so. Like a few days ago, we were in Linz, and I was singing and watching the other devotees distributing cookies, distributing books. I was so blissed out. I felt like we're not in Linz, we're in the spiritual world here, and it's so nice and simple and powerful. So, and then yes, that third thing, distributing prasadam, cookie. I also distribute some cookies. It was so nice to just. And people are like, yeah. Like one lady, she refused. She was drunk. She was like not looking well established socially in her life, and she was drunk and she was down, and I gave her the cookie and she said, no, I cannot take this. And ultimately it turned out she thought I want to sell it to her. She thought I want her money. And then she took the cookie and she took 2 cookies and 3 cookies, and then she said, okay, it's a good. And she was so grateful. So even socially, it is so pleasing to just give prasadam to people. And I would like to make that note, maybe time is so short, but maybe that's the last one, that I think that the main thing we can do in this environment here, anyway, yeah, it's just something that we can naturally do in this environment, is that we distribute prasadam. Yeah, I heard there are some management plans to establish a kind of cafe even here. And then that is even better maybe, because then people just come here and they sit down and have some prasadam. And they don't know it's prasadam. They think it's some cake, some lemonade or whatever it is, but they get prasadam. So that would be so nice. And so we can pray for that, we can think about that. And individually we can we can think about that individually and collectively. Like, can we just, how many times a week can I go to Passau or some other place nearby and distribute books? Maybe also sometimes visit another center, distribute books for a few days. And how can we be more effective in taking care of all the needs here? Because this project is very diverse. This morning I felt like it's like Srila Prabhupada's enthusiasm and eagerness to spread Krishna consciousness. It also manifested this temple. And now it's like, I feel like the devotees living here, we still are looking for a sense of identity on a, maybe not individually, but on a collective level. We are still finding out, like, okay, this is the agriculture, this is cow protection, this is our educational department, and there are guests we have to take care and create relationships there. And we have festivals. So there are so many things that are going on here in this place, and it's like all that enthusiasm and eagerness of Srila Prabhupada, it's like condensing in this place, and like pushing on, and devotees are taking it up also and pushing on, but it's difficult because we don't know where to put our energy. It's like we're trying, we want to do something nice, but it's like we want to go on Harinam, but then Narahari Mataji is coming and saying, what about the pots? Please wash the pots. So it's like not so easy to become focused and dynamic and in a harmonious way. But I feel like we are pushing on, and one day that all that energy and that austerity of trying to work together, it will explode, and there will be a big inundation of Krishna consciousness all over the Bavarian forest. And maybe Germany, who knows. From here, from this place, because ultimately all these things will turn out successful. And imagine if you can be a part of this inner movement of the movement, if you can have a relationship with Prabhupada, if you can and if you can follow the instruction on sadhana and on service and on relationships and preaching, if you can take part in all those things properly in your own, according to your own natural capacity, then you can just become so deep, you can become so ecstatic. And yesterday evening I appreciated that, and this morning also, like everyone was really dancing in happiness. So we're actually doing it already. We're already in ecstasy. And we are already there. We are really realizing already also. So, and then one day we will be in a kirtan and it will be so ecstatic. Everyone is really becoming mad and will jump so high. Everyone, like the ladies also. Everyone will forget everything and will just dance and chant. And then one person in the kirtan will just like, he will lose external consciousness and he will feel like running, and he will just run out the door, and he will run down the way, and he will chant very loudly, and he will arrive at the door of Bauer Weiss, and he will knock on the door, and he doesn't know what he's doing himself, but he's driven by internal potency. On his own, he's actually only feeling like I'm fainting, but he's in ecstasy, and he's knocking on the door, and Baba Weiss is opening the door and saying, yes, who is there? And the devotee is just grabbing him by the shirt and yelling into his face, chant Hare Krishna! And Baba Weiss is overwhelmed, and he doesn't know what is going on. He feels like I'm being shouted at, but he cannot explain that somehow I'm so attracted to this person. And the devotee, he has realized what he's doing, and is like, oh, and he's shaking in ecstasy still. But he's also like, okay, Hare Krishna. And Baba Weiss, he feels like he cannot, but okay, what is going on here? Okay, but he's feeling so attracted to that devotee, and he's telling him, okay, come in. And then the devotee, they will sit down at the table, and the devotee will feel great compassion with Baba Weiss. Somehow in his heart he is inspired by Krishna, and he will tell Baba Weiss that please stop slaughtering those cows. Please don't be angry with all the bad experience you had with devotees in the past. Please and somehow he will explain Krishna consciousness to him. He will convince him, no, don't kill the cows. You can help us, and we work together to take care of the cows. And his whole family will join like that, and we will work together. And then Baba Weiss, he will become a great hero of this movement, because he will show his success. He will show that this is how I'm living, and he will convince all the other farmers in the environment. You have to keep the cows like this. You have to protect them like this. You get milk like this, and you maintain yourself like this, and you chant Hare Krishna like this. And then a few years later, we will have big festivals in whole Bavaria where people come together, and there are other festivals also, but one kind of festival will be that they gather at the slaughterhouse, and there's a big celebration in burning up the slaughterhouse. And they will chant Hare Krishna, and there will be ample distribution of prasadam, especially paneer and sandesh and sweets made of cow milk. And everyone in the whole Bavarian forest will chant and dance in ecstasy, and they will cry tears of ecstasy, and they will infect the rest of the world. I don't know if it will work like that, but who knows? Why not? Something can happen. So, and maybe it will not happen today or tomorrow, but we should be confident that the scriptures are actually predicting this. In the Golden Age, it's mentioned in one Purana, Bhavishya Purana or Brahma Vaivata Purana, I forgot, but some Purana it is mentioned that this Golden Age is mentioned. And in there it says that in this Golden Age there are only what is that? Eka Varna Hari Bhakta, something like that. The only Varna is to be a devotee of Hari, which practically means that everyone will just always chant the names of Hari. So, and we should be confident that whatever small thing we are doing, sitting here in the class, making giwiks for the worship, doing the worship, being in the garden, whatever we are doing here, it will help that. It will help this Sankirtan movement to one day, or this internal movement of chanting Hare Krishna, this transcendental movement, it will help that one day it will explode. It will take over. It will take over. And some say it will take over completely and the whole world will be like that. Some say that it will be that there will always be that inimical influence, that those other people who are not appreciating, who are not understanding, and it will always be side by side. But one way or another, this movement will explode more and more and more and more. So we should be confident of that, and we should take courage to continue this path. So, and we should make our contribution to that with great eagerness and courage, and not be discouraged by so many things which are ultimately very small. Yes. I was not planning to talk so long. I'm very sorry. I wanted to give more time for questions. We have, according to this time, we have 2 minutes before 9, and anyone who likes to leave, he can also take leave. But if anyone would like to say something or ask something, you're very welcome also.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the inspiring class. I have a question. What do you think, or according to your understanding or realization, what are the symptoms that should be cultivated in a community in order to motivate the devotees more in seva and in being happy in bhakti?
I already said it. You have to develop a relationship with Srila Prabhupada. The first point in a community is that you have it's in the word, you have to have something in common. If you don't have anything in common, you're not a community. You're a bunch of people who live next to each other.
And what about the relation between the people living in the community?
It is based on our relationship with Srila Prabhupada. Any relationship has a basis. There has to be something in common. You cannot relate to someone who has nothing in common. You need that. I wanted to tell that. I'm very grateful to your question. In Nectar of Devotion by Srila Rupa Goswami, there is one verse 5. It's saying, Krishneti yasya giritang manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibistha badantamisha Shushrusaya Bhatana Vigya Mananya Manyan Indari Shunya Ridam Ipsita Sangalabdya. And the essential part of that verse is that it's I will paraphrase the verse. It says, in your mind, you should offer obeisances to anyone who ever said Krishna's name. In your mind. Actually, that's the most difficult thing to do, because you have to control your mind to be able to do that properly. And and you should offer obeisances to the person who is initiated into the process of devotional service. Anyone who is sincerely practicing devotional service and has committed himself formally, but the essence is sincerity, you should actually offer obeisances to that person. You should offer all respects openly. But then the third point is, you should associate with that person and you should serve that person who is two things: fully engaged in devotional service, always fully engaged in devotional service. This makes me think of Munindragana Prabhu. He, like, almost every time he's here, he will tell me minimum once, like, I have so much to do, and it sounds a little like, whoa, it's so much to do, but it's very good actually. I have no time to think about Maya, and I can just, and actually it's very blissful. So yes, he's showing that to some. I feel like he's showing that to some extent, and so that is the first thing. That person who is fully engaged in, like, you will always see him doing devotional service, and nindadi shunya ridam, and his heart, there's no pinch of that idea to criticize anyone else. So that person who's always engaged in devotional service, and he's not interested to criticize anyone. He's never feeling that, oh, I'm working so hard, but look at them, they are lazy. He will not feel like that. He may feel compassion that, why you're in the mode of ignorance? Come on, let's do something. He may do that, but he will never feel like pointing a finger at someone in enmity. So that person, he's always engaged in devotional service, he is free from criticism. That person you should associate with, because that is a pure devotee. So, and the community means association. But we are told by Srila Rupa Goswami to only associate with such people. And if we are not a pure devotee ourselves, we will see that not everyone is like that. That is very interesting. If you are a pure devotee, you will feel that, whoa, everyone is like that already. You will see that everyone is a pure devotee. But speaking for myself, and I don't see like that yet. So I feel like that association is maybe not so good sometimes. No? And so it is difficult to associate properly if we don't have that vision that everyone is a pure devotee, which is natural as long as we're not pure devotees ourselves. So, but the point is that a community means association. So, but how to associate if we don't feel that everyone is pure? How to associate? The answer is, you have to associate with Srila Prabhupada. Or you have to associate, and you have to develop how to say, it's difficult because he's not physically present. he is, but maybe not so perceptible to us. And even though he is here in a murti form, which is actually visible, but my perception is that sometimes we don't appreciate that. Like we're coming to the temple, but we will not. I think if we would think that he is actually there, sometimes we would behave in a different way. We would not turn our back to him or say, or like have our small conversations here in the temple room like that. So it is difficult. It is difficult. And therefore I was stressing that very strongly. Read about Srila Prabhupada. Read, and I didn't stress it so much, but I'll do it now. Read his books also, deeply. Understand what he wanted and what is his vision. So you have to associate with Srila Prabhupada. And that sense of associating with Prabhupada, my own spiritual master, once he gave an initiation class, he said that the disciples should feel that my spiritual master is always looking over my shoulder. So that is how deep it should become. We should feel that our spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada, they're always looking over our shoulder. For that you have to do a serious bhajan. You have to do serious chanting, you have to do serious reading and thinking about it, and it will take some time also to develop such a mood. But you should feel like that. Srila Prabhupada himself, he came to New York and he said, I never felt alone. I always felt that my spiritual master is with me. So we are advised, we are requested to rise to the same level. Because if you feel like this, then no matter where you are, with whom you are, what you're doing, you will always feel my spiritual master is also there. Srila Prabhupada is also there. So that sense of association of Srila Prabhupada, that is highly desirable. Because on that basis only, we can have a spiritual community. Otherwise, we can have a community of some people who like to make music and they will sit down together and chant Hare Krishna. We have a community of people who are attracted to a celibate lifestyle and they will be together. We have a few people who think that these are fanatics and we are householders, we are natural people, and they will be together. And we have a few people who like to study books and they will read together and they will be together. So we have all those small groups, but they are not based on the essential quality of this place. They're not based. We have many small groups because they have something in common. There's a community of this, a community of that, but we will not feel that big community which brings everyone together unless we actually become fully Krishna conscious. It's not possible because we are not getting that as a common point for everyone who is Krishna. And it happens through that relationship with pure devotees. No? That is why Rupa Goswami is telling you have to associate with those people. So that is the challenge we have. And of course we have so many mature devotees here also. And so many mature devotees are coming also. So, and if we feel that there's a problem, then that there's something to learn individually and collectively, then we have to seek that association. Can you try to conquer Narahari Mataji with your service? Can you try to conquer Paramahansa Gaur Prabhu with your service? Can you try to conquer whomever devotee you consider advanced? Can you try to really get the blessings of that devotee by your activities? Okay, I finished my official service, I finished my 16 rounds, I did some reading maybe, or maybe not even, but I really feel that, okay, I need the blessings of that person. That is a sign of health. Not health, it means that we have understood our disease, if we feel that we need those blessings. And so I was thinking about that. Yes, as much as we have that center of Srila Prabhupada, we will make rapid advancement. And even if you will be together with others, but you will feel that Srila Prabhupada, he's blessing it. He's blessing that I take prasad with the others. And he would like that as we are taking prasadam, we speak about Krishna. So I will try to speak about Krishna. I will not try to speak about something, or whatever. So if we feel that Prabhupada is also there, and then we will have to feel also that I have to please him. He's looking over my shoulder. I have to act in such a way that he will appreciate it. That is a spiritual community. So, yeah, That's my humble understanding. There may be different ways, like there are so many sannyasis also coming by, senior devotees who are dropping by. We had so much good association the last few weeks. It's like amazing. I never experienced that before here. Even here, I think I never experienced it like that. Like one after another, like 3 sannyasis and the minister of deity worship and the best book distributors in the world. And like recently we had amazing association. Amazing. So we should take advantage of that, and we should take advantage of Srila Prabhupada's association, which is already there in his books and is in his advice for how to practice devotional service and in his instructions on bhajan, missionary instructions. It's all there, and yeah, we should become educated and apply. Okay.
Segen und bisher sind die Wünsche, die spirituellen, strategischen Wünsche immer in Erfüllung gegangen. Krishna hat immer so tolle Überraschungen gehabt, dass man das, was man gerne machen wollte, ausleben konnte.
Kannst du ein Beispiel sagen? Aber ich werde zuerst übersetzen.
Am ersten,
ich werde zuerst übersetzen. Ich werde vorher übersetzen.
Ja.
Ins Englische. Nee,
Ja.
ich werde jetzt
Ja,
übersetzen, was du gesagt hast,
Ja,
und dann kannst
ich
du noch
warte,
was sagen.
ja.
Okay. So, Mataji said that when we ask the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and the senior devotees always, then whatever spiritual plans we have, ambitions we have, goals we have, that will always be fulfilled. And I asked you to give one example. That is coming now.
Ja, also als ich das erste Mal hier war, stand ja damals noch im Arbeitsprozess und dann sollte ich hier alles wischen, alles sauber machen, oben, unten, immer jedes Mal, jeden Tag, wenn man putzte, musste man immer hinter die Absperrung und dahinter putzen und so. Also nicht nur husch, husch. Und der Tempelkommandant hat immer kontrolliert. Und ja.
Ich würde das gerne kurz übersetzen.
Ich denke,
So Mataji said when she came here first, she was cleaning the temple, and the temple commander would personally come to check, and she had to clean like everything very thoroughly. She had to move all the things on the floor. She had to clean the fence and behind the fence also.
Und die Kerzenständer immer putzen und dies und das, also Fenster putzen, Decke putzen, alles putzen.
She had to regularly clean the ceiling and the windows and also the lamps of Srila Prabhupada.
Ja, und ja, und ich hatte dann irgendwie so, ich denke, na ja, ist doch schön. Ich war dann immer froh, wenn wieder was sauber war. Ich denke, ja, ich hatte bloß immer so, ach, eigentlich wollte ich ja herkommen und so mich ein bisschen ausruhen und das spirituelle Leben so genießen.
Yes,
Ja?
so Mataji says she was thinking initially that, yeah, I just want to be here and relax a little because I was working before and I want to enjoy my spiritual life.
Aber ich kam dann immer mehr auf den Geschmack. Ich habe mir Bhajan angemacht, dann habe ich mit dem Schrubber hier rumgetanzt. Und, ja, also wie gesagt, und Krishna arrangiert das immer so, dass man dabei immer Freude empfindet.
Yeah, so
Ja?
Mataji is saying that, but after some point she developed a taste for this, and she says that she was hearing she was putting some bhajan, and together with that I don't know, mopper, how you call it, stick, cleaning stick, she was practically dancing as she was doing the service. She was very happy.
Ja, also wenn man das wirklich will und man bittet Krishna, man bittet, wie gesagt, alle Devotees, Prabhupada und dann wird das für einen wirklich zur Freude und man hat, egal was man macht, alles was man für Krishna macht, ist immer freudvoll.
Yes, so
Zumindest entwickelt sich das so.
Yes, so she says that if you ask for those blessings and you try sincerely, then it will develop to that point where one actually feels happy, no matter what service one is doing. Yes, that is true. So you're in charge of cleanliness, no? you can, practically the empire is at your hands already. You can develop it. You can do something very ecstatic, and that is there. Yes?
There's one more question in the chat by Shri Mataji. If you gift the books to friends without getting any money for it, is it also the same benefit?
No, because Krishna is telling that spiritual knowledge cannot be explained to a person who is not austere. And a few days ago, His Grace, I would almost like to say His Holiness, Navina Nirada Prabhu was here, and in the seminar he explained that by inducing a person to give money for the book, you make sure that he has done some austerity for devotional service. So, yes, you can. Your friend may appreciate the book because he's your friend. But that is maybe not such a complete qualification as if he actually gives for it. So at the same time, if we give books to friends, it is understood that if you ask for money, it may disrupt the relationship you have already. But it is always better if the person gives. The more a person gives, like the same principle we had. I mentioned that you approach the spiritual master and you inquire, and then you also have to do service. That is the process of getting transcendental realization. So the person should do some service. If he gives money, he will do service. Otherwise, you can try to create a person's piety by giving prasadam. You can try to invite a person to some devotional activity, like whatever it is. Or you can trick the person also. You can ask the person that, I want to buy some fruits for my worship. Maybe you can help me. You can give me some money to buy. Or we visit the temple together, and when you come to the temple, you have to give something. So maybe you can buy some fruits or nuts or something, and you can bring that. So in that way, they should do some sacrifice. By that sacrifice and service, they will be able to appreciate transcendental knowledge. That's my answer to that question. Yes. Okay. Schlusswort.
Aus der Not heraus kein Bargeld im Portemonnaie und da ist keine Kasse, wo sie gleich was abholen können, dann habe ich auch schon mal ein Buch verschenkt. Aber ansonsten, wenn sie darauf aus sind, mich hat mal einer angesprochen und so beschimpft, wieso ich für so ein Buch Geld verlangen kann, wenn ich das Wissen verbreiten will, dann müsste mir das eine Freude sein, das zu verschenken.
Yes, ich übersetze kurz. So Mataji is saying that it should be a pleasure to give this knowledge for free. Why should we ask money for it?
Ja, ich sage, ja, das würden wir machen, aber woher soll das Geld für die Druckerei kommen und so?
Yeah, so we may say that, yes, we would give for free, but where from will come the money to print?
Ja, also man müsste da schon so unterscheiden. Irgendwie ist jetzt einer drauf aus, uns zu ärgern oder uns zu kritisieren, und indem er kein Geld geben will. Oder ist jetzt einer, ich habe auch manchmal kein Bargeld im Portemonnaie. Ja, das, wenn mich jetzt jemand ansprechen würde, ja.
Yeah, so we should discriminate between the person who is not appreciating the transcendental knowledge actually, and who is simply trying to get around giving something for something that he does not really appreciate, or is it actually a person who can give something, but he simply does not have anything. But if a person is already eager, that's my own thought, then if a person is already eager to have, that means he's already qualified. Yeah.
Ja, also Krishna arrangiert immer irgendwas. Bei uns, als ich noch in Magdeburg war da so eine Jugendtruppe, die hatten ein Haus besetzt, waren ganz nett. So. aber die hatten Ärger mit der Polizei, mit der umliegenden Bevölkerung und hatten Flugblätter verteilt und wollten Leute einladen zur Richtigstellung des Sachverhalts. Und keiner ist gekommen, außer ich. Ich habe gedacht, ach, das ist toll, da gehst du hin, da machst du Pakoras, nimmst du Pakoras mit. Bin ich da hingegangen mit der Schüssel Pakoras und dann war da eine Gelegenheit, haben die im Prasadam bekommen. Ja, und haben mich dann eingeladen, ihr Essen, was die gekocht haben, auch zu essen. Ja. Also wenn man das wirklich will irgendwie, dann arrangiert Krishna.
Yeah, so Krishna always arranges some opportunity to share Krishna consciousness in an appropriate way if we want so. Like Mataji was explaining, there was one youth group and they had some meeting, and so she just went there with pakoras and distributed prasadam. So yes, distribution of prasadam ki jai. Distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.